Well, Oran, what's your assessment on today's defeat to Linfield?
Obviously disappointing. We felt probably the way that we set up and the way that the game went that we had possibly a good opportunity of getting something from the game. But ideally, I think particularly when you look at the two goals, they're two real poor errors, if you know what I mean, and probably similar to Tuesday night. It's an individual error again that costs us a point as well. So it's frustrating from that point of view. And unless we start to eradicate that, it makes it tough to pick up points in this league.
I mean, there were chances in the second half, but just couldn't get the ball over the line.
Yeah, and listen, there's no getting away from it. It was our third game of the week. We are carrying bodies at this point in time. We've probably had 7 or 8 players missing constantly for the first 5 or 6 games of the season, which is fine when you go Saturday to Saturday, but when you add that midweek game into it as well, it makes today even tougher. And probably it has to be said, particularly when Linfield Glentoran is called off, they come here with that freshness, and we know that those extra miles in the tank are going to make it a tough day. And I think particularly with that in mind, today's a day where you need to go ahead, or you need that spark of adrenaline. And 1-0 down was bad enough. To be fair, I thought we had a couple of good chances at the start of the second half, and as you say, I think if we take one of those chances, it probably lifts the ground, it lifts the players, and all of a sudden the tired limbs don't feel as tired, and we just lacked that spark today, that little bit of quality, or that wee bit of luck probably sometimes you need, that didn't go our way.
And when Bradley came off injured, is that one to be worried about?
Hopefully not. Obviously, it's been a tough time for him out on suspension and everything else, and it's been good to have him back amongst it and another body in there. So we'll monitor that over the weekend and see how he feels.
And no game next week. Is that a blessing at this time, or would you rather play? Or
no, I think it's fair to say it's probably a blessing at this point in time. I think with the volume of work that the players have had, we'll actually take Tuesday night off. I don't think there's anything to be gained this Tuesday. With no game next Saturday, the amount of miles covered in the last 7 days, it's probably dangerous to probably come in and do a heavier session. So we'll probably, for both mind and body, take Tuesday night off, and then we'll go Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, the following Thursday, and hopefully that'll leave us well sharpened up for Larne.
And Larne next, we'll be hoping a few of the walking window will be back then.
Yeah, ideally, probably next Saturday. I think we'll play an in-house game, and we maybe bring a few of the young lads up and try and get some more match time into players who need it. You know, Aaron Jarvis is just back today, and it's hard on him. We've sort of thrown him in at the deep end because Evan Tweeds has hurt his hamstring last week, and we're trying to wrap him in cotton wool now. Jarvis probably still a week or two away, but he's chomping at the bit to get going, and you probably could see that today. You know, he was fit enough to get around the park, but just lacked that bit of sharpness more than anything else. So there's players like him, hopefully maybe Aaron Trainer, maybe Hard Beverland as well, might take part next Saturday, that will ideally start to give us a few bodies back and start to strengthen up the numbers.
And I know we don't make any excuses, but have you ever had a suspension or injury list like this during your time in charge?
Yeah, I have, and it is. Listen, it's part and parcel of football. I've had the opposite as well. I've had stages where we've had all 20, 21 men fit, and you're having to upset 3 people every week by not naming them in the 18, and it's nice when it's like that, and probably we had that for a big part of last season. Probably where we're at the minute is just slightly different, but listen, as I say, it is what it is. They're all, you know, there's a couple of suspensions that I suppose you could say that are self-inflicted that didn't need to happen, but the other injuries are freakish ones. You know, they're not muscular ones from overtraining or anything else. They're impacts or hits that you just can't legislate for.